Hey guys, I'm Nick Gordon and we're here at the Columbus Zoo and Aquarium. Today we're going to learn some things about marine biology. Let's take a look.
There's a time for us to let go. There's a time for holding on. A time to speak, a time to listen. There's a time for us to grow. There's a time for laying low down. There's a time for getting high. A time for peace, a time for fighting. A time to live, a time to die. Time to scream, a time for silence. A time for truth against the lie. A time for faith, a time for science. There's a time for us to shine. There's a time for mixed believing. There's a time to understand. A time for hurt, a time for healing. A time to run, to make a stand.
While the giant saltwater reef tank is definitely an impressive exhibit, Columbus Zoo also offers many other ways that their visitors can interact with aquatic animals, meanwhile learning a little bit more about marine biology. One of these interactive exhibits is the tide pool touch tank that you're looking at. This interactive exhibit offers visitors a unique opportunity to get up close and personal with various animals, like the sea urchin here. Let's take a closer look. Sea urchins are also occasionally called sea hedgehogs for their spiny-like appearance, but are in fact nothing like hedgehogs at all. Sea urchins are actually considered echinoderms, which in Greek directly translates to hedgehog skin. Echinoderms are a group of marine animals which are recognized by their radial symmetry. Other echinoderms include sea cucumber, sand dollars, and sea stars. This here is a chocolate chip sea star, showing off its perfect radial symmetry with its 5 identical looking arms. Unfortunately, sea stars are not the most graceful creatures in the ocean, but by falling off the rock it allows us to take a closer look at the hundreds of tube feet that these guys possess. These hundreds of tube feet actually have little suckers on the end of them, which suction onto things like rock faces and sand and help them to get around. You can also note right in the middle of this central disc, there's a mouth, which all sea stars possess. Another species that calls this touch tank home is the slipper lobster, which gets its name because it looks like a bright red slipper. Although despite being called a lobster, it's actually not a true lobster at all, and is more closely related to the spiny and furry lobsters, which are also not true lobsters. Unfortunately, as cool as these lobsters are, the slipper lobster is often collected in mass quantities by trawling or in individual collection by scuba divers and consumed for their delicious meat. Another awesome exhibit is the high and low tide simulation tank. As you will see here in about 15 seconds, a pump behind the tank kicks on, forcing a massive amount of water to spill into the tank. This simulates the change in tides. As you can see, the water is starting to spill in, and in about 2 seconds it will really start coming in. You can see how the surface of the water is greatly affected from the influx of water coming in from the outside. This proved to really capture kids' attention, in which a volunteer from the zoo would come over and explain to them exactly what they were witnessing. Now let's take a look at what it looks like from underwater when the tides change, and exactly how the fish are affected by it, if at all. Right about now, if you look at the top of your screen, you'll see a little jet coming in from the back. That's indicating that the water is changing and the tide is rising. While manatees are not considered marine animals, I thought it would be wrong to not include them since they're such interesting aquatic animals. The manatee exhibit at the Columbus Zoo is just over 192,000 gallons. That's pretty impressive for an indoor aquatic exhibit. In 1999, this exhibit was built as a rehabilitation facility for wild manatees that were considered no longer fit for life in the wild. After spending usually only about a year at the zoo, the manatees' health improved so much that they were able to be released back into the wild. Unfortunately, that was not the case for Stubby, the manatee you can see with a lot of white marks. Those are scars from being struck by a boat back in 2005, along with a portion of her tail that is missing from the incident. Now she lives out her days here at the Columbus Zoo, where she gets to hang out with other manatees and even some clown-nosed rays. And last but not least, we get to hang out with our friends the Humboldt penguins, who spend their days cruising the coasts of South America. Thank you for watching, and I truly do hope you learned something about marine biology today. But let me leave you with this.
Who can say